Obviously, you're not a golfer.
You want to toe? I can get you a toe. Believe me, there are ways, dude. You don't want to know about it, believe me.
Yeah, but Walter...
Hell, I can get you a toe by 3 o'clock this afternoon with nail polish. That rug really tied the room together, did it not?
Yes, it absolutely did, sir. Welcome to this podcast, Really Ties the Room Together. My name didn't introduce us last time. Huh. I guess I'm just used to people watching this, listening to the show. My name is Joseph Eastwood Frisch. This sir here is Mr. James Cowbell. I turned into Johnny Carson. Today we are doing...
Yes!
I'm
the fat co-host.
We both get that job, I think. We're doing... I've been wanting to do this movie. I've been talking about this movie. Wanting to see it. Never really watched it. You had. You had seen it. You said it wasn't any good.
Years and years and years ago, I had seen it.
I remember seeing parts of it when I was but a child and thinking it was something else. But I never got to see it since then. I love both of these actors, Mickey Rourke, Don Johnson. And we're doing Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man. I don't know why I'm keeping it secret. It's on a freaking screen behind us. Well, these two,
maybe my head was in the way and they couldn't make it out.
Pixelated charmers. That's right. Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man. A weird chyron comes up before the movie. Weird warning I'd never seen. Basically because they're named after products. And it was like, this movie, I don't even know what I said. Endorses these products, nor do these individuals represent the products of which they are named or something ridiculous like that. All right. It was August 23, 1991. If this movie had been released in 1986, when it was probably written, I think it might have been okay. Like, I've done well, is what I mean by okay. Number one movie. What do you think? August 1991.
It was not this movie.
Not this movie. Some good movies. One good movie. Number one movie was Hot Shots with old Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, that's, there's some humor there.
Oh, yeah. I think we should. I don't know if we should do it. I want to rewatch Hot Shots. I've recently watched the original Naked Gun.
I love.
And it was hilarious.
Yeah.
And Charlie Sheen, people give him a lot of crap for a lot of stuff. He's great at that.
Yeah.
At the bad, playing it straight in ridiculous circumstances. It was one of Charlie sucks about Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen, for people that just know Charlie Sheen of now, he was actually a really good actor.
Yeah.
Like we were like, man, Charlie Sheen. We bought stock in Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
We were like, he's gonna do it.
His sense of humor is very similar, or the way he plays comedy is very similar to my sense of humor. Like, it's very dry and straight.
Super dry. All of his delivery is said as if he's being in an Oscar-winning dramatic movie. Like, he says it with gravitas. Like, this is that, even though it's the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard.
That's very similar to just me speaking.
Yeah, and I think Hot Shots Part 2 is even better, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Just coming off of being number one movie, speaking of coming off, was T2, one of the best movies ever made.
Yeah.
Terminator. Doc Hollywood was behind that. Sorry, Michael. Number one show, 1991. The Cause has been knocked off. I'll tell you that. The Cause is no longer number one.
Give me a hint.
It's no longer a happy household. It's a dysfunctional household. It's number one TV. The 90s. Kicking in the 90s. They were like, happy household with morals? No thanks. We want degenerates living in Chicago. Roseanne, number one show.
Yeah.
And I can't read what number two. Oh, Cheers. Cheers is number 2.
Can't read Cheers.
It was squeezed in there. Let's see. This movie is directed by, is that right? Simon Weiner? So here's the thing, man. This dude, he directed some stuff.
Okay.
That's going to blow your mind. And then he directed some crap. Let's get with the crap first. He directed Crocodile Dundee 2 in Los Angeles.
I thought that was the better one.
Is it? I don't remember it at all.
know.
I remember the scene of him in the Los Angeles subway, the famed Los Angeles subway.
That's not a knife. I don't know.
I see you've played Knifey Spoony before. Simpsons. Free Willy.
Free Willy.
He directed Free Willy. He directed one of the worst superhero movies of all time, The Phantom. One of my favorite movie experiences. Shaw and I, we used to go to the movies like every, was it Sunday night? Anyway.
Schauberg?
Shout out Schauberg. Yep. Yeah. Shaw and I would go to the movies quite often, and we were seeing something. I don't remember
Big,
what it
tall, skinny.
And the trailer comes on for The Phantom. And they clearly tell you it's The Phantom in the trailer. I wish I had the trailer here to reenact this, because Shaw and I would just say it to each other for years. And, like, it's The Phantom. They show The Phantom. I think they even say The Phantom. And the guy sitting in front of us, very, like, proudly, as if he just discovered it, turns to his wife and says, "This movie's about the Phantom." And, I mean, for years, Shaw and I would just say, "This is the Phantom." Out of nowhere. He directed The Phantom. Now, get this. You ready to have your mind blown?
I am ready.
I don't know if he directed the whole thing. I know he's involved in it. Possibly one of my, my favorite made-for-TV movie series of all time. And one of my favorite book series of all time. I named my son after a character in the book. He directed Lonesome Dove.
One of my all-time favorites.
I mean, you can't get... Lonesome Dove holds up. I want to do Lonesome Dove. Can we do Lonesome Dove? I know
mean,
it's serious.
all of our episodes are long enough to get Lonesome Dove in, I think.
We
So,
could do it episodically. I would love to rewatch it. I haven't watched it in years.
love Lonesome Dove.
So
I'd always told Robbie about Lonesome Dove. Mm-hmm. And Robbie had never seen it. Mm. And I flipping through the channels one day, and it's the very end, and Rob's like, "What's?"
Oh no! Oh, no! You son of a...
It's like, this. I don't know what is it? 3 hours, 6 hours, 9 hours, something.
I think
I
it's
don't
about
know.
6 hours.
Yeah, and
6 or 8 hours.
Rob catches the end out of nowhere. Oh my god!
That is a shame. Oh my gosh. Yeah, he did Lonesome. Not only that, he did Comanche Moon. Have you ever seen Comanche Moon? I own it somewhere.
I am sure I have. I cannot recollect a single thing
Comanche
about it.
Moon. It's gonna sound weird. Steve Zahn is playing Robert Duvall's character, and he frickin' nails it.
Okay.
I mean, he nails it out of the park. I don't remember who's doing Colonel or who's doing Tommy Lee Jones, but it's not bad. It's not somebody bad, but it's pretty well done.
Right.
But it's a good movie. It's them being young, and Comanche Moon is about them chasing this certain native serial killer kind of guy named Blue Duck. It's good. If you can find Comanche Moon somewhere, check it out. It's not Lonesome Dove, but it gives you enough of the characters that you're like, oh man, they did good. Like you'll watch it and be like, oh, you did good, Steve Zahn.
Yeah.
You did good. All right, let's get into this thing. What do you think the budget on this was?
$4.
I have it written down somewhere. I don't know where. The budget was, I think, I read somewhere, $9 million, something like that. It made
$7.
It made like $2 million. I really have it written down somewhere. I don't know where it is.
It's like Don brought his family and had to buy tickets.
It's
And
not
that's
much.
That's the amount of money.
All right, this movie starts off. There's a weird, like I said, weird Chiron. It's Independence Day, 1996. Now, this is, you're in for a bad movie when they've decided to make a future jump in 5 years.
5 years.
A future jump in 100 years? Absolutely. Maybe even 50. I'll take it.
Even 25.
25 is great. I'm always wishing, I've wrote a couple stories that are like, I'm going for it. It's like 10,000 years in the future. Like I'm really guessing at some stuff. I think it's because people are too scared to guess and be wrong,
Right.
they're not going to remember your stuff in 10,000 years, y'all. You're not that special. But anyway, 5 years in the future, it's set. I guess because they have futuristic jackets, guns with cool scopes that never get used. And
Yes, nobody does aim.
no, nobody aims. They have the bad guys, spoilers, is led by a Baldwin.
And that's enough. It's just a Baldwin. It doesn't matter which
it's
one.
not the one that actually killed somebody in real life. It's not that Baldwin. It's one of his brothers. Kind of a chubby-faced Baldwin, a blue-eyed, round-faced, just pie-faced son of a bitch.
In a leather jacket.
In a
with
leather jacket.
big collar.
That is so clingy, and it's so unattractive on every level. The jackets these guys
And
are
it's
in.
not just him. It's all of the guys who wear
all
the
of
jacket.
them.
Yeah.
They body form. You don't want a trench coat that body forms to you necessarily. He looks like trash.
It might have looked good if all of the villains were women. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. It really showed off his hips.
Yes, it did.
I was like, man, I've never seen a Baldwin. These Baldwins have childbearing hips if I've ever seen one.
Yes.
Like they can pop them out.
And those piercing blue eyes.
Piercing blue eyes. I mean, some people tell me that they can get lost in my blue eyes. But Baldwin got some pretty nice blue eyes. It's Independence Day, 1996. How do we know this? Because how do they get exposition out in this movie? Through the radio. Mickey Rourke is listening to the radio as he puts his leathers on. His leathers are nothing that a biker would wear. They're guessing hard on the future of leathers in this movie.
In 5 years. Yeah.
And
They
missing.
think 5 years
5 years leathers
really
are
going to
really
make a
going to change.
huge jump to like racing leathers.
Several times I asked myself, is he a Nazi? He's got lots of iron crosses.
Yes.
You know where that came from?
No.
Well, it came from, so after World War II, that's when you got all the, disenfranchised, that's when the biker movement became a thing. And a lot of those bikers were vets that came back from World War II. And it was a very common practice to kill a German fella and then take his stuff and be like, this is mine now because I killed him.
Right.
All right? It's like his prize. Well, they were vets that were bikers, so they would wear that stuff.
Serial killers also do
Yeah,
that stuff.
well, sure. They would wear their war prizes. And so that's kind of where that came from. But so the fact that it's still kept up, though, in 1996 is a little disturbing. Because it's really just German propaganda that they're wearing at this point. He didn't kill anybody in any war.
He tried. He tried.
He tried. We find out that the kids are doing a new drug. Man, there's a new drug out there.
Sounds awesome.
I'm just going to do the DJs now that Mickey Rourke's listening to as he puts on his leathers. There's a new drug out there for 1996 Independence Day. Whoa, what is that new drug about, man? Listen, man, you don't take this thing normally. You don't smoke it. You don't eat it.
You don't shoot it.
You don't shoot it. You don't
snort
it. You don't do any of that, man. What do you do, man? Tell me how you do this drug, man. This drug's called Crystal Blue. Is that right? Crystal Dream.
Crystal Dream.
You put it in your eye and it makes you see things, man. That's what they say. And I'm like, okay. Is that the old Hendrix put heroin in his eye bit?
1 out of 6 people, didn't they say, go blind?
That's right. 1 out of 6 people go blind. Man, these kids are out there, man. Is this the end of America? We don't know. So there's this whole is this the end of America tied into this movie, which never comes up again.
No.
Crystal Dream. Then
You never even see anyone do the drug in the movie.
Never.
Why make up such a big deal about it?
I don't understand why they made it such a big deal.
There should have been
It was so stupid.
in an alley scene or something, like kids are like,
Yeah.
nothing.
Someone he should know should have died from. Rudy Raymore knows how to make a better movie than these guys. He knows that
Rudy
someone
Raymore
needs to get and die
Makes
from the drug.
way better movies than this movie.
This guy, I can't believe this guy had anything to do with Loathsome Dove. Breaks my heart, kind of. All right, Mickey's in his undies. He's getting dressed. He's gearing up. We cut to a naked lady on the bed, longingly looking at him as he's walking out the door. Doesn't say anything to her. I like the hot take. Ready for Eastwood's hot take? I like the boobs in this movie.
Yeah.
Why do I like the boobs? Because we watched Roadhouse not too many movies ago, and the boobs are trash in Roadhouse. Every boob you see in Roadhouse is like, ugh. I've seen those. When you see those boobs in real life, you're still kind of happy to see them, but you're like, oh, whoa, hey, what you messing with? God would gave you there.
Yeah. If they're not Hollywood boobs, why put them in a movie?
But the first lady is rather, as they used to say, she's a carpenter's dream. She's rather flat chested.
Wait, are we talking about
What?
Jill Biden?
Who's the
A
Jill?
different, no,
No,
the
no.
first lady.
No, the
in the
first
movie,
lady,
not the
no.
first lady.
Not
Okay.
Jill. She's stacked.
Yeah, she's a doctor.
She's looking good.
She knows her medical.
She'd been drinking that milk. Remember when people used to equivocate drinking milk with having big breasts? That was a thing. Anyway, this lady, I'm not joking. That's the thing people believe in. This lady, I was just mean like for Hollywood. I was happy to see, first, it wasn't like big fake boobs. Second, it wasn't just big boobs. It was just like, yeah, it's just a regular lady, kind of flat chested, super hot. He leaves her. Bon Jovi kicks in.
Yeah.
Wanted.
Best part of the whole movie.
Dead or Alive. And this is when the movie hooked me. I'm going to be honest. It could have been and probably was complete trash after this. But my wife and I kind of were like, looked at each other and were like, now we got ourselves a movie, babe.
And had the movie ended after the song, it would have been top 10 greatest movies of all time.
I had to pause it. He takes off on his Harley. His name's Harley Davidson. He's got a painting on his Harley. R.I.P. Rest in Power. 8 Evolution. And there's a bunch of cards with initials on them. These are all the buddies that he's lost, I guess. Which seems to count to not to go against his theory later in the movie, in which he's very callous about his people that have lost. It's whatever. They're dead.
They lost like 4 friends, and he's just like
Don Johnson calls him out on it. He's like, yeah, whatever, man. I didn't put a gun to the head.
They did it.
They did it.
They wanted to.
The credits. We start seeing the credits. The credits are amazing. Tia Carrera,
Oh, the amount of people in this movie.
Big John Studd, Tom Sizemore. This is our second appearance by Carlo Esposito.
Right?
The Yo Mama video game death guy from Maximum Overdrive, Breaking Bad fame. He's back. Now he's everything fame. He's in Star Wars and whatever else. But this is what he was doing back in the day, 91.
Big John Studd.
Yeah. Big John Studd.
Did pretty well in this movie.
Wrestling, I would have never guessed he was a wrestler if I didn't know it. You know what I mean? If I hadn't seen Big John
He
Studd.
did some body slams.
Well, no. I just mean his acting.
Yeah. He did good.
He did good. Yeah, Big John Studd. So we got, Mickey's driving across America.
You did good, John. You did good.
A bunch of weird match cuts. Match cuts are when, like, one frame matches the action in another frame when you cut to it. In this case, it was spinning tires to a spinning windmill, then back to spinning tires. Tia Carrera. Do you remember when Tia Carrera, Wayne's World, Tia Carrera was around?
Yeah.
And people were like, Tia Carrera is actually Asia Carrera's sister. You remember this? By the way, Asia Carrera was a very... She worked a lot. She was an adult actress who worked a lot. I never got it, personally. I was like, fast forward through Asia Carrera's scenes. But nonetheless, do you remember that rumor persisting?
Vaguely. Yes.
Even as a youngster, I was like, don't porn stars change their names?
Some are not ashamed. And nor should they be.
It was literally
an acting job, and they get paid to do their acting.
If we looked up their nationality, I'm going to assume they're nothing alike. It was just in 1980 something.
Yeah, an Asian's an Asian, and back
There were
then,
two Asians that had the same last name. We were like,
which is a Porsche's name.
We were like, holy crap, her sister just born.
They're both named after Porsches, so they have to be sisters because they both don't look like us.
Okay. Now, cut to
my favorite talk about this movie so far.
Okay. We cut to get ready to get disappointed. This is one of my favorite scenes. We cut to Harley gets all the way to LA and he's got to get some gas. First time he stopped for gas this whole trip. This the whole credits for him traveling. He goes to the gas station. He walks inside. Just is clearly being robbed. Like the guy's got a gun. There's two punks in there. There's people on the floor. They got guns pulled on the cashier, which I thought was Tia Carrera. I bet it was Asia.
Right.
Because I was like, is that her? Is she that young? It was an Asian lady. I bet it was Asia before she went down. Well, never mind. He walks in. He says, yeah, I need $10 on pump 5. And the guy's like, hey, can't you see? This is a hold up or whatever. And then he says this monologue. You know, this really pisses me off. I come in here, enjoy your clean, conditioned air, and these scumbags open their mouth and stink it up. To which I mean, how cool can you be? To which the guy puts his gun to her head and says, I want to blow your brains out. He's like, if I had a nickel for every time some punk put a gun to my head and told me he's going to blow my brains out, I'd be a rich man. I'm turning into a New York guy. And then he disarms him and slams his head into the counter, and then
it was a nice maneuver to disarm. It was
the
whole arm flip up.
It was
very fast.
It was efficient. It's what you should actually do if in that situation.
If you choose to defend yourself.
If you choose to not die, because you know, as my buddy told me, when a man points a gun at you, there's two things you can do: kill the blanker or die. That was from Roadhouse. He saves the day. The other guy that I have it written down? Oh yes, he says, I'm gonna cut you long, wide, and deep, Motorhead.
Yep. He does say that.
This guy was like, I got one scene, one line. I'm going for it. He went for it. I liked it. What did I say here? He's got tan lines on his. We cut to. He takes the gun. We cut to Don Johnson in a bar, and what's happening on? What's happening on? What's happening there? Is there's a chick stripping on a bike, and that's the whole thing. She's stripping on a Harley. She doesn't leave the Harley, and she takes off her top. And there's some like my wife and I both got excited. There were some really nice boobs with tan lines. We're like, look at those tan lines. To which we cut to Don Johnson, and he's playing pool, and he keeps saying things that rhyme. And this is when maybe this helped us enjoy this movie. That's when my wife and I decided that it should have been Matthew McConaughey. Now, I know he wasn't old enough to be in the movie at the time, but it should be Matthew McConaughey from now in the movie. Because when he says things like, don't ever place the bet if you can't pay the debt. Stuff like that.
My old man.
So a lot of my old man stories.
Jesus, so many my old man stories.
Hey, you enjoy this movie. Oh, yes. So we kept thinking it should be Matthew McConaughey. He says, I got 500 bills in my... Oh, yeah. So he's playing the guy from Renegade, the Native American from Renegade.
Ah.
And he says he won't pay him. He beat him in pool. He's obviously a shark, the Marlboro Man, Don Johnson, who we didn't buy as a rugged guy. We were like, no. You can grow a beard all you want. It just didn't really help.
You're still from Miami, bro.
And he says, just pay up. I'm good to go. Got 500 bills in my pocket and you're woman in my bed. To which, of course, the guy's like, pulls out a butterfly knife.
44 seconds later. Flipping the butterfly.
Excellent move. If it's 1984, it's 1991. Actually, 1996. They missed the call on that one. He should have had like a laser knife.
Did you? Yeah. Did you notice the gas prices are equivalent to now, though?
Yes. Well, the world's falling apart in 1996, according to these guys. Wasn't that a big?
It's like $3.59 a gallon. I'm like, not bad, really.
I was like, wow.
It's really not bad. It's a pretty good deal. I'll fill up.
I really wish the guy would have, Renegade would have pulled out a laser knife. Oh, got you one of them fancy laser knives.
With the
son.
hair he had, it would have been better seen had he had one of the switchblade comb knives.
Yes, absolutely.
And just been like all the way down.
And then
back.
we found out it was a joke. We don't find out it's a joke. There's a big fight. There's a fight. Some cue balls get bashed over some people.
Don takes a cut to the midsection.
That's right. He gets cut. Roadhouse. This is very Roadhouse. The whole thing. We see a billboard. Oh, by the way, it starts out with a billboard for a car. That's how we know it's in the future. It's some type of car. We see another billboard. I don't know if you caught this. Die Hardest.
Yep.
Die Hard 5. Or so, yeah, I think so. It's like you guys missed it. They're like up to 8 now or something like
I caught it and I was like,
they're so trying to be something that they can't be. Now, this is a problem I had. Marlboro Man never smokes in this freaking movie till the very end of it. It's not till he's down and out. I don't know if you noticed this. I'm sure it was a choice. Third act, he finally smokes. The first of the movie, the Marlboro Man will put a cigarette in his mouth and then just kind of chew on it and then take it out and play with it. Hey. And never smokes. Meanwhile, Harley Davidson will light a cigarette, take a hit off, throw it off, get it out. He's like, only that first part's good. But I only like the first part.
but he doesn't drink until the end.
That's right. They say since you quit drinking, he quit drinking for some reason. But I was like, you're wasting cigarettes, bro. Those are like $10 a pack.
Yeah, it's the future, dude. If
I don't
gas is $3.59 a gallon, those are like $22 packs.
I haven't smoked
And
in a
you're
long
smoking
time,
like
but
a quarter inch of it.
yeah.
What?
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, Marlboro. I'd rather be cool. I'd rather be dead and cool. That's my favorite line of the whole movie. I'd rather be dead and cool than alive and not cool. I mean, I think that sums up Shark's entire life, right? Sorry, Shark. I wish you were here. I wonder what Shark's
Be here to
opinion
defend yourself
on this movie.
There's no defense.
That's a
There's no
that's
defense. It's a compliment. Yes. Yes. That is.
I'm not that far off behind him.
No. Shark is basically Harley Davidson without a motorcycle.
A motorcycle with the RV.
He's got a guitar instead.
He's got a guitar and an RV.
With a whammy bar that he uses.
Well, now he's got a B bender.
He uses what? Yeah,
He's more of a B bender.
Yeah.
Get him. that he got insulted. That he got mad
he's
about.
Insulted so badly.
That part he was like, "Hey boys, that's not my thing."
I can already hear on the next podcast that you guys have. He's gonna just break this down. Be like, "You guys are wrong here. You guys are wrong here."
It's a little late now, but last week's show, I really was wishing he could be here to tell us how wrong all the military equipment was. Because he likes to point out, he knows like what equipment was made when and where.
He is a historian.
And there's nothing cooler than that. I was being serious. It sounded funny. We love you. Anyway, Shark, Mickey Rourke, you should have been Shark in this movie.
I'm a historian with ADHD. Like, I love history, I love stuff, but I don't have the attention span to stick with it. So I'm like,
I can tell you about it.
I'm a quasi historian.
All right, Die Hardest. Oh yeah, so now they're sitting up on the billboard. This comes out a couple times in the movie after they do something. They like to sit up on this billboard and chat while Don Johnson fixes his boots. He's got these snakeskin boots. And, of course, Marlboro's like, why don't you tell me about them boots?
As long as we've known each other, you've never told me about those boots.
Them boots. You're always fixing up them boots.
Duct tape.
Duct tape.
Snakeskin boots.
Snake-based boots, duct tape all over them. He says, I don't want to tell you about these boots. They're so standoffish. Like, they want to be two movies. They want to be Midnight Run, and they want to be, more than anything, they want to be Butch and Sundance. Yeah. Which is why I think you don't like this movie. It's because you love Butch and Sundance. And I do too. And I can see, as I watch it, like, they literally took the script and was like, let's make this in modern day.
Had you watched it with me,
and take the heart out of it,
you would have seen the disdain in my face in every scene.
Because they're going for it. They want it to be the cool bro.
Yeah.
We don't like each other, but we actually love each other. Relationship.
We're the arguing brothers, basically.
Yes, they're the arguing brothers.
That love each other.
They disagree. And Michelle, my wife, told me several times, this is a love story between these two guys that ends in heartache. Yeah. I was like, you're right. It does.
Yeah. And unfortunately, it's heartache for the people that watch it.
Well, I'm telling you, man.
It's my personal opinion.
Spoiler, I had a good time.
He loves it. I
was like, we got to order this thing. There's got to be a special release that I can get a poster. Let's see here. 5 years ago, Harley, we see Harley shoot here. He sucks. He can't shoot worth a crap.
Marlboro, on the other hand.
Marlboro, shoot anything. He's shooting guns out of people's hands the entire time.
Which is no way similar to Butch and Sundance.
No way at all. The fight at the beginning, he's got to fight Big John Studd. Not at all like Butch and Sundance at all.
Nope.
Now, Big John Studd comes into the picture. Now, we got Harley Davidson. We got the Marlboro Man. Their buddy, which he has to go fight. And everybody he sees is like, Jack doesn't want to see you. Jack's going to kill you. Jack's going to end your life. And I already spoiled this for you. If you catch Jack's last name, it's Jack Daniels. Jack Daniels, the worst bourbon known to man.
Which might be the reason why I brought Gentleman Jack today.
Yes, it's a step above.
It's been on my shelf for 12 years and I've refused to touch until this, because Jack Daniels is... I sincerely apologize for anyone that loves Jack Daniels, but that is garbage.
It's garbage.
Bourbon.
You should try something
Tennessee
better.
Whiskey is... Well, not all Tennessee.
It's not smooth.
Jack
George Jones, it ain't smooth. I'll tell you that.
No.
Now, of course,
We've doctored this.
I'm a home bartender, which Shark likes to say is the greatest term for a modern alcoholic you can think of.
Dead on accurate. Dead on.
And I've messed with it a little bit there.
It's much better.
It's much better. It's much more drinkable. I think we'll have another one before the end of this movie. Okay. Yes. Somebody gives him a gun. Oh, what's happening here?
Hang on. Let me check.
Harley shoots. He sucks. So Harley gives him a gun. He's like, I got you a gun, because he steals the gun off the punk in the store. He shoots a Kawasaki and makes a rice grinder comment, of course.
Because it's smoking and, because the Japanese clearly make inferior motorcycles too.
To Harley Davidson.
Early Harley Davidson.
Cut to the bar. Classy bar. We got a classy Vanessa Williams singing with a band.
They're not a classy Vanessa Williams. I think it's all class with Vanessa Williams.
Then we get a Baldwin. The creepiest of all the Baldwins I wrote, except the one that killed the guy.
I still think this guy's creepier.
You got to go on. One of them killed a guy. The other's a religious nut. One of them I don't think did anything. He just like hung out. And then you got this one, chubby Baldwin.
Chubby Baldwin.
Harley turns
nothing
out
wrong with being chubby.
No, I got it down. Harley has a black buddy. Turns out. His Aryan Nation crosses he wears all over him don't really mean anything. Mm-hmm. He's been gone for a long time, apparently. He said, I left some unfinished business. He says, we hear about that. Jack wants to kill Harley. So once again, we're like, this Jack guy, Jack Daniels. Then we run into a deaf guy. I was like, hey, good for you, HD and MM.
He's not deaf.
You got deaf. He's not deaf.
He just can't talk.
Sorry. We got a mute. Still, good for you, HD, man. Got a mute guy in there. Anyway, I don't know why, but this is where I got down. You better be dead and cool than alive and not cool. Yeah. So there's some sign. You know what, Michelle and I kept saying, this guy's the best
lip reader.
He's the best lip reader we've ever seen. We never put together that he just couldn't talk.
Can't talk.
Literally a couple times we were like, damn, this guy's lip reading's out of this world. Okay, scratch half of this page. Of notes is gone. Oh, God.
My abs are going to be sore.
Oh, no. Yeah, here we go. This is where I have over the top Big John Studd. I'm assuming there's some arm wrestling going on. Yes, that's right.
Yes, sir.
And Esposito's second appearance. And Studd is pissed off. Harley takes off his jacket. What do I have here? Sucker punch nut grab. Oh, yeah, because he's going to fight him. Turns out Harley
Doesn't fight fair.
Doesn't fight fair, and he made a pass at Vanessa Williams,
Yeah.
which is Big John Studd's wife. In what world is Vanessa Williams married to Big John Studd? It's the worst, and she's the daughter of the owner of a club, of which not the deaf guy, the Carlo Esposito and the mute guy is somehow related to him, and it's also Harley's buddy, but anyway. So he sucker punches Big John Studd, grabs him in the nuts. He gets thrown out a window.
He does good for like the first 9 seconds.
9 seconds. And then Big John Studd gets him and basically throws him through a window, right?
Yeah. And it's actually commented on, I think, by Don Johnson. He's like, he was doing good there for a minute.
He jumps out the window after him. That part I liked. He threw him out a window and he lands in a car.
In a convertible.
Yeah. And then John Studd jumps out the window and also lands in the convertible. I thought that was kind of fun. I was like, I didn't see this coming.
That was all right.
Vanessa Williams band. We cut to, they patch it up. They're like, whatever. Harley Davidson, John
So they're
Studd.
not enemies. They're just good friends.
They're best of friends, but he made a pass at his wife,
Right.
and he's like, listen, it was me, she loves you, she didn't, and he's like, oh, all right.
You big lug.
You big lug. Oh, and then they give each other nuggies. What's nuggies? Smoking too much weed. Let's see. Oh, wow. Here are my notes I wrote. Is this deaf guy deaf or mute?
Yeah.
I figured it out.
It's right here in my notes. Yeah.
Oh, of course. Now I can't read. There's a lot of like jumping on the back. The plan, which they don't tell us at all. The one thing I love about this movie is they jump from thing to thing. There's never time
Continuity.
between.
There's no continuity.
There's never time between things. Much like Delta Force, they'll be like, we need to rob a bank, and literally cut to them robbing a bank. There's no heist plans. It's just them. We have...
They're just like, we should rob a bank. There's a brief scene.
Yeah, but it's so like...
It's not like, this is the plan.
No, there's no plan. It's like, should we do that? I'm in. We're here to help my buddies save his bar. He owes the bank, whatever. It happens to be the same bank they're going to rob from. Very hell or high water.
Right.
I'm on to you. I can't think of that guy's name. Uber famous that wrote this. Anyway, they're going. They're going to rob an armored truck. I'm like, all right, this is going to be cool. You see Don Johnson jump on the back of the truck.
He had to run for a while. I don't know if that was planned. I think maybe. They
mad.
planned on him being on it pretty quick, and he couldn't keep up in the shoot. And they were like, "Fuck, it, just keep
going.
just keep filming, man. He'll get there."
He's on the back of the ambulance. Then you got the place where Harley is stopped. He's got a hard hat on. He's in the manhole, and pulls out a shotgun. Marlboro shoots the gun out of the other guy's hand, and this is the guard's like impressed by his skill. He's like, "That's pretty good shooting." How'd you learn?
This is what any guard would do in this scenario. It's
He's
like,
pretty happy about it. And then he talks S after that. He's about like, you know who you're robbing here? This is blah, blah. Turns out there's no money in this truck. It's blue, what's it called? Crystal Dream?
Crystal Dream.
Crystal Blue?
The best, I think maybe the best line in the movie is in the scene.
What is it?
And he's like, it's like, you guys are almost like professionals or something. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, then they blow up the truck. And he's like, well, a professional would have used their keys. It's like, shit.
You're right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
That's probably the best line in the movie.
Yeah.
And it's by some no-name guard for the truck.
Now, somehow, some way,
Smooth.
Sizemore has gotten word of this, and Baldwin and the future goons in their trench coats and their future guns with built-in scopes.
And their Matrix uniforms.
Matrix uniforms, they've never used the scopes. They're like built on. They look like they're like very... No, we're going to shoot them from down here. Clip after
Scopes
clip.
are for amateurs.
They have bulletproof. They say it's that new Japanese Kevlar coat.
Yeah.
Let's see. I have a stunt here. Stud crashes in. Uses a bike as a weapon.
Yeah.
Stud comes in. He jumps off the bike. The bike slides into them.
Takes the lid off the gas tank.
Yes. Slides it. Leaves the gas trail. Lights it. Bike's sliding. Lights the trail on fire. Blows up the bike.
Which essentially does nothing to...
Absolutely nothing. I guess that's the point, is you're supposed to be, like, impressed that the Baldwins can just jump over it. They literally just, like...
It's just like a trail this wide of flame on the concrete.
They literally act like it's a video game. It's just like, whoop. They just jump over it and keep moving, keep shooting their future guns. Is the sewer plan part of it? I guess it was.
It's another sewer plan.
Another sewer plan. This happens a lot in these movies. We need to keep track.
80s and 90s are big on sewer pipes.
What's in the loot? Crystal Dream. Then we get Sizemore. He's the boss of this giant bank. And we got Baldwin and the Columbine Matrix shooters. Jesus. Back to the bar. It says, "We fed up big." It's been a while since I watched this. Harley's super sad. He misses his girl. We get like 2 times in this movie, for no reason, Harley misses his girl. He had a girl that ran out on him.
Yeah.
That we hear about. And earlier, one of my favorite... I got to take my glasses off. This is serious. One of my favorite conversations in the entire movie is, "You know, I've been thinking a lot, Marlboro, about like God and stuff, you know. And if there is like a guy up there that's like doing all this, I'd like to meet him, you know, talk to him, see what it's about." That's his philosophical quandary in this movie. That's his theme in his arc. And he wonders if maybe...
And Marlboro's not having it. He's like, well, you're an idiot. Basically.
Pretty much. Who are you leaning for? If you're going to hang out with one of these 2 guys, is it going to be Marlboro or
I'm hanging
Harley?
out with Marlboro.
I'm hanging out with Marlboro too. I think so. I think Marlboro's at least easygoing sometimes.
I'm not a motorcycle guy. Ever.
No, which they're both motorcycle guys. He says, "Oh, here we go."
You caught me.
Harley's sad. Then we get Marlboro on his bike. He flips off a cop. Chase ensues. Turns out the cop is a lady. He says, "I'm just trying to blow off some steam." Then we get some information about the blue dream. It's 100% addictive, and it kills 1 out of 7.
All drugs should be that addictive. If it's not, then what's the purpose? You know?
He leaves. He steals her bike. They have a new plan. And I wrote down here, now I'm starting to like Marlboro a little bit. I didn't care. But bang, here's Tia Carrera. Let's see here.
It's a pretty smooth scene.
Is this where they call him? And he says,
Yeah.
you got balls. Big ones. Is that right? Sizemore. He says...
Nobody knows that they're on TV yet. Or they're on camera until
that's
Marlboro
right.
figures it out, points it up. And
That's right.
Then Harley starts talking shit to him, looking at the camera. But,
He says, I want $2.5 million. And then they make a side bet.
yeah, of a dollar.
Of $1. Such a buddy comedy move. Plus $1, he says. I'll catch you on the rebound, a-hole. Catch you on the rebound, a-hole. Chopper. We got a chopper in this movie. We should also keep track of choppers.
There's a lot of choppers in the movies we watch.
Baldwin on a chopper with a pilot. It's when I found out the guy's name was Jack Daniels. Freaked out.
So the guy flying the chopper
Yes. The guy that...
starts talking about Vietnam.
That's right. And
Baldwin just tells him,
dismiss it.
just shut up.
That's right. He's
Just
like,
shut
He's
up.
like, shut up. He's like, we had some. He mentions Da Nang, which is one of my favorite Vietnam references.
It's like, these are the coordinates.
He's like something like, yeah, this is the same move we did when we came into Da Nang. And he's like, shut up, stupid veteran.
And the pilot's like,
All right. Which
you don't want to hear my story?
Comes back later, by the way. They give Esposito and the very old man the money. And Marlboro is just in the dumps. He's down about this whole thing. He's like, this is going to come back on us. The Baldwins, the Columbine shooters come in, and they kill everybody. They kill the old black fella. They kill Carlo Esposito, the Yo Mama guy from...
kill Big John Stud.
Kill Big John Stud. Vanessa Williams, did she die too?
No.
I don't know.
No, there's a fourth friend, though.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Deaf guy, mute guy.
Whatever he was.
Dunzo. And I wrote down here, Baldwin cannot shoot a gun and look cool to save his life.
He can't, no.
No headshots, by the way. I'm like, we kept yelling, hey, super shot. Hey, guy that can shoot a gun out of somebody's hands. Shoot these guys in the head.
Yep. They just shoot him in the chest in the Kevlar.
Which he does tell us later he's never killed anybody, and he doesn't want to kill anybody, which I thought was a nice touch to this movie.
Well, except for the fact that they're going to kill you.
Well, yes, that's true.
And shooting them in Kevlar is not going to save you.
It's true. All true.
So, at some point.
Let's see here.
But I digress.
Jack Daniels dies. Thank God. Cheers to Jack. Rest in power. They grabbed that poor lady, I wrote. Baldwin blows away the luggage guy. Cut to Vegas.
Yeah.
When we find out, is this Harley? I didn't write down who said it. I lost my cherry. I think it's Harley.
Yeah.
Lost my cherry to a fat girl in a room just like this.
Which is a nice room.
It's a pretty decent room.
So if you spent that much money on a room,
you would get a little better hooker. Is that what you're going for?
I'm just saying.
Just like
Or
this.
get a slightly less decent room and upgrade.
That's what he has to say. And I like this scene. Marlboro socks him in the face.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Best
four
part
of our friends are dead, you idiot. And you're talking about some fat lady. Bushy Sherry.
Best part of the movie.
He leaves, and he leaves him $1. Because their bet was that the thing was going to go successful, I think, right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't. And he finally starts smoking. The Marlboro Man's been chewing on cigarettes the whole time.
And Harley starts drinking.
And Harley starts drinking. You're like, finally, let's get some entertainment. Have something happen. Let's start driving while he's drinking. Let's do
Please.
something in this movie. Then we have take off your hat. I don't know what that means. Baldwin looks like a dipshit. I have written down. We're at death's door. Oh, this is a good line. This was where Baldwin comes back, I guess, Adam, and he says, "We're at death's door, and the devil's a knocking." That's pretty good. Then they get in this shootout. He tracks them down to the elevator, the boneyard or whatever, and now Don Johnson can't shoot worth a crap. The Marlboro Man, Mr. Shooter, Butch. Wait.
Yeah.
No, Sundance. Sundance can't shoot all of a sudden. He can't move. And this is when I wrote down again. They want to be Butch Cassidy so bad. Marlboro wants to go back and get revenge for his buddies. And this is when he puts the line back in Harley's face. I'd rather be dead and cool than alive and not cool. And he says, I'm not going to wait for Harley. Cut to last Boy Scout's wife. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
I was like, who is this chick who's driving me crazy? I'm a middle-aged guy, so I had to look up. Who is this lady? It's like, oh, she's Bruce Willis's cheating wife in The Last Boy Scout. One of my favorite movies.
So she didn't really change husbands at all.
No. Not one.
Oh, wait. Kind of. He was still in it.
Yes.
The Bruce Willis lookalike, Mickey.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Of course. Which, yeah, he's realized this before. I never realized how much Mickey Rourke resembled and acted like Bruce Willis until this movie.
Yes. Dead on.
Last Boy Scout's wife is in there. Oh, my God. We're running out of time. Is this when he tells him about his boots? He finally says he's taping up his boots. He says, I got these boots from my old man. He gives him a...
Are they still on the train at this point?
I think so. He says, I got a converted 454. He says, I learned to shoot on it.
This is more a motor. And he's like, that explains why you can't shoot, basically.
Yes, that's right.
That's what you learned on.
That's what you learned on.
He's like, it makes sense
I
now.
can shoot with this, though, because I learned on it. They track down the briefcase because of the coin. He says, God, I like this line, too. He says, God, if you're watching, look away. Don finally kills somebody.
Yeah.
They have the whole... This is all I remembered from my childhood. The whole scene about these are $2 a bullet. Every time you shoot him, you know what, all that stuff, which is
That's $12.
which they're taking directly out of it's right here somewhere. Pat Garrett and the Billy the Kid movie where he says best $12 I ever spent or whatever it is. They stop and get one more. This is your favorite part. He can't shoot. He can't shoot. Is that right? Is this where the think fast is?
Yeah.
He says, just shoot, damn it. Shoot, Harley. Baldwin, they get most of the guys. Baldwin.
Harley's got a freaking... Wait, hold on. He's got a 12 gauge at that point.
Oh, okay. Well, I must have missed it. Because this is the point
It doesn't matter. You can throw it in here. It's fine.
It's the point where Baldwin gets Marlboro. He has a gun to his head. And he's like, I actually like this scene, too. He's like, shoot him, damn it. Harley, shoot him. And he shoots Don
Marlboro.
Johnson in the shoulder. I was like, that was great.
That's a great one.
He literally shot him. He's like, God damn it, you shot me. Shoot him. And that's when he's like, just shoot. And he shoots the gun out of his hand. That's when it is just shoot. He shoots the gun out of his hand. He grabs the gun, turns around, boom, shoots Baldwin. Down he goes. And then it's more or less they have to stop and kill one more guy. Standoff, pretty good. They shoot him. Then he says, D-head, you shot me. And that's pretty much, I thought, how it was going to end, is them walking away. And they're like, oh, you I can't believe you shot me. He calls him a bunch of names.
All right.
He says something about glad you greased them guys. Went from I don't know if I could kill a guy to glad you greased them guys.
Right.
We got Sizemore to deal with, so we got to go up to Sizemore, the bank president / drug runner. I thought the movie was over, much like when I watched it originally. It's not. They got to take care of Sizemore. They go upstairs. They pay $500 or something. They pay the helicopter guy, right? Some of the money.
Yeah,
They're like, fly us
It was
back.
like 10 grand, probably.
10 grand.
It was
They're
a
like,
stack.
fly us back to the thing.
Stack out of the 2.5
And the helicopter guy says something like, with pleasure. I hated those guys. Working with those guys. They were the a-holes or whatever. Like, all right, give us a flight. This is where Sizemore says, I make $500,000 a year being a bank president. I make $50 million a year selling drugs. His goons come in. They can't shoot. What the hell? They're there to kill him. Then the helicopter shows back up. Oh, no! We're out of time. DBX 911, we love you. Thank you for listening. If you want to hear the rest of Harley Davidson Marlboro Man,
terrible.
tune
Don't
in
listen.
to 20IN21, wherever podcasts are found.
Don't tune in. It's terrible.
All right. These motherfuckers then... the helicopter comes down, shoots the windows out, kills everybody in the room pretty much, right?
No, it kills the 2 guys with guns, but it leaves everybody else.
Oh, that's right. And then Marlboro throws the gun. Is this Think Fast? Because I have Marlboro throws the gun awkwardly. Window balance.
Harley threw the gun.
Oh, okay. He throws the gun.
He throws a shotgun. Think fast.
Think fast. And then...
Which was a total early 90s. Think fast.
Think fast, yeah. Oh, yeah, it was. That didn't even occur to me.
So terrible.
Cut to a rodeo, because once in the movie, Don Johnson said, I think about riding back in the rodeo sometimes.
Because his dad bought those boots for him.
And we find out, that's right. I'm sorry, I missed this crucial part. Tom Sizemore's falling out of the window. He grabs a hold of Don Johnson's boots. The boots he finally tells Harley, my dad bought them for me in my first rodeo.
And I did
terrible. I did terrible. It's the only thing he ever gave me. I was a horrible rodeo guy, rider, whatever.
Yeah.
That's why I keep these boots. Duct tape them together. Tom Sizemore's falling out of the window. He
rips the sole out of the boots.
He grabs the boots and rips the sole. They literally rip apart, and he falls to his death in one of the worst. Indiana Jones was
this is
5
worse.
years before this.
Yeah, and this
is worse. Way worse.
Way worse.
Tom Sizemore falling to his death on the street below. Cut to rodeo, and
which is he ripped the sole out of the boots.
He ripped the sole out of his boots.
The
very soul.
It's so symbolic.
He's in a rodeo. He's on a bull.
It's not.
And Harley, it's them breaking up. It's like, I love you, but we got to go our separate ways.
See you in 10 years.
Yeah, basically. And
why was there not a part 2?
I'm wanting one. Right, I'm wanting to write one. To be honest with you,
do it, dude. I'll be Harley.
He's like,
just saying. I did great in the first movie. That's all I'm saying.
He's on his bull. Takes off, does pretty good. Rides the bull. It looks like a cowboy up on that bull.
As long as you can feed me lines.
Yep.
I'm a great actor.
Then he takes off. Harley takes off, and my favorite scene. There's a chick with a long ass.
He should have had the fall scene.
Oh, yes, I should have. There's a chick with a long ass, and she gets on his bike. She's thumbing. He's like, "Hey, baby, get on my bike."
It's an '80s ass in the '90s.
It's an 80s ass in the 90s. Oh, that's not what I wanted.
Whoa, that is what you wanted.
There she is. Look at her butt. There is nowhere for her to sit.
No. There's no seat. She's
got something hanging off of her pants there. That thing's going to hit that tire. She's going to get sucked on that tire and die.
She's literally on the fender that's 4 inches.
I wish we had her getting on there, because it is something. She gets her 80s long ass on that thing, and he peels off. I'm like, move up a little bit, a-hole.
I want to say she was a model back then, and that was kind of like a cameo.
Okay. I didn't look that up. I did look up tan lines. Just because I had to see what tan lines was up to. But yeah, and this is how it ends. The Marlboro Man riding bulls, Harley Davidson picking up a long ass on the highway, gonna kill her,
probably
gonna add her to the. I was really hoping we were gonna see the tank and it would have new initials on it.
Yeah,
it would have Deaf Guy, Black Friend, Carlo Esposito, Yo
There would have
Mama.
to be deaf guy that wasn't deaf. So that's a lot of initials on one card.
And that's how the movie ends. So we have to ask ourselves at the end of this show, as we always do, does this movie really tie the room together? I'm going to say it kind of does.
Yeah, I'm going to say no, not at all. No.
I'm going to say it's not the most beautiful movie I've ever seen tying a room together. Maybe on occasion.
There are few movies that have made me angrier watching it because it could have been something that it was that just didn't happen.
Oh, man. I loved it. I was wanting more of it. Here's my problem.
No.
Mickey Rourke and Don Johnson.
Here, this is your problem? Let's hear it. I gotta hear it.
They're too good for the movie. It should have been Bosworth.
Yes.
And you know what I mean? Like, it should have been somebody bad. This is a B movie.
Yeah.
This is like the new Roadhouse movie. It's a B movie with a really good actor in it.
Yes.
Because Jake Gyllenhaal's way too good for that new Roadhouse movie. Everybody else sucks in it.
Right.
Which they should. Jake Gyllenhaal's like you dropped an A-lister into a pile of shit. Very much like they dropped these two A-listers into a pile of shit.
Yes.
Now, I have a weird fondness for old Mickey Rourke because he should have been a movie. Like, he should have been De Niro. He
Yeah.
should have been a frickin' movie star, which he was. But then he started boxing and became a weirdo and got the shit beat out of him and then had a bunch of plastic surgery, and now he is what he is.
Right.
But seeing this, even with his horrible frosted haircut, which no biker had that hair. That was another problem we had. Was like, just let him grow his hair out. I know you have Don Johnson has long hair. He's supposed to have short hair. He looks stupid. He just looks stupid. Why did you do this to Mickey Rourke? He's a cool dude. They're both cool dudes.
Mickey Rourke should have had the career that, what's his nuts at?
Tom Arnold,
No,
Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis had.
Yeah, he totally should have. I think he's more charismatic than Bruce Willis.
I love Bruce Willis,
I do too, to an extent.
but
Yeah, Bruce
Yeah.
Willis is one note.
yeah,
He's always been one note, maybe two notes. Mickey's got a couple notes.
yeah. Mickey's got a few notes, and it just he
and it
screwed his face. up
It makes me sad that this is what they gave him.
yeah, I mean, you go from
One of my other
9.5 weeks.
one of my other favorite movies, it's down there somewhere, Angel Heart.
Yeah,
It's once again, he is stellar in it, but he's in a horrible movie, and so
Yeah.
is De Niro. He's got De Niro with him, which makes me like it because it's a horror movie with Robert De Niro, which you don't get that any other place but that one movie. But yeah, it makes me sad, and also I think Don Johnson got the shaft when it came to cinema. I think he was a TV star,
Yep.
and he didn't get the movie chance he should have. which
this
he's-
wasn't it.
This was not it. Something could have been wrote for him that would have been great, but this wasn't it. And now that he's in like Tarantino movies and stuff, you're like, oh, Don Johnson's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Like Nash Bridges
yeah.
came back. But like this movie,
Don Johnson would have better Chuck Norris than Chuck Norris.
absolutely.
Had Don Johnson taken just got to a white belt in
Just
karate.
something. Yeah,
in
you're
karate.
right.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
you're
like,
right.
Learn a move
He
or
was,
two.
we did discuss like he would never be in a movie now because he was like he has like a little bit of love handles. You know what I mean? Like he's not a ripped dude. He's just like a guy. He's just a normal dude. We were like, well, this would never fly.
We would kill the mafia pictures then
Oh yeah,
as a hitman.
absolutely. Give him a machine gun and a suit.
Flashback humor to a couple episodes ago.
What was I gonna say? Oh, if you're casting it today, I'm going
This movie?
You're remaking it. I'm going absolutely McConaughey for the Marlboro Man.
Okay.
Maybe Tom Hardy for Mickey Rourke. There's no like cool guys anymore like Mickey Rourke. You know what I mean? Like what tough guy actors do we have? The guy that plays the Punisher,
Well, we
John Berthenol, whatever his
could
name is.
easily go to the new Roadhouse and get that Irish guy.
Yeah, he's great. He would be.
And he could play Harley.
You would like that. Just so you have a new reason.
Notice
to
I didn't even say his name.
absolutely hate this movie, this remake.
I didn't even say his name.
No, I won't either. You should watch Roadhouse though. It's worth the watch just to hate, watch him.
Dean Flamingo, the man of 1,000 holds, could play Harley.
Okay. Now?
Yes.
Nowadays.
Part of the Four Horsemen.
Yeah, oh yeah. I
Upside
just
down
I just didn't know if he was now, if he was still alive.
Four
or not.
Horsemen, greatest wrestling.
Which iteration?
The original is the greatest.
Okay.
Arn, Ole.
I was gonna say I don't remember.
Teddy Blanchard?
Sounds like it might be right. Let's just say
my brain is blank.
let's just say Brett the Hitman Hart.
No. Tully Blanchard.
We're gonna get out of here. Yes, I recommend watching the movie. You don't recommend watching the movie. You had a bad time watching the movie.
It was a bad trip, man.
I highly recommend it. I enjoyed myself thoroughly, just because of all the bad choices they made. Why was it in the future?
But
Whoa.
just 5 years.
Just 5 years in the future that didn't come into play except for the drug. Just make it about crystal meth.
Yeah.
Not that hard. Uh-oh.
He must be watching the movie.
The
dog's yelping.
The
He's
dogs are
screaming.
yelping. He yelled stop. I think that's a good sign for us to get out of here. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you later. Love you. Hey, baby. Just in time.
Just in time.